I invite you to slide your awareness or allow it to slide with gravity down into your toes. Just letting awareness make its way very naturally into the right and the left foot and right to the extremities, to the 10 toes. And allow your awareness to inhabit those 10 toes for a little while. In time, you will be able to distinguish the big toe and the second and the third and the fourth and the baby toe. And the longer you stay in the toes, the more resolution, the more details become available to you, the more sensation. You may notice differences between the right and the left foot. So you're letting awareness take up residence in the toes for a little while. And you may notice tingling in your toes or a sense of pulsation, warmth, or almost like they feel a little bit bigger than they usually do, like they get blown up a little bit. And in a way, you could say that they do. You may notice also how the toes come into contact with the surface that you're on, depending on how you're sitting. Maybe the bottoms of the toes or the tops of the toes are touching something solid. You may notice if you're wearing socks, the sensation of that. You may even get a distinct sense of the nail bed of each toe. You may feel them touching each other. You may even have memories come back. Maybe when you stubbed a toe or when you dipped your toes in the ocean or a brook. All of these memories are held in our flesh. We are deepening our relationship with our toes. Eventually, they may even be able to communicate what kind of footwear they prefer, or maybe none at all. And if you find your attention sliding back up into the mind, that's okay. Just come on back down to the territory of the toes. And then we can let our awareness spread to the ball of the foot, to the place where the toes attach to the bony structure of the foot. And extending towards the arch of the foot and into the heel. And we get a sense of the whole foot. We may be able to distinguish the contrast between the bony parts of the foot and the fleshy parts of the foot. We feel the outline of the foot. We sense it. And we may also sense space around the foot. So certain parts of the foot are touching a solid surface, and others feel more spacious. Other areas are in contact with a more spacious kind of sense, but still there is connection there. Even though the foot isn't touching anything, there's an awareness of that. There's awareness of space. And again, as we broaden our awareness to include the whole foot, right and left, memories might come forward. Walks you've taken, places your feet have taken you. And other movements may come forth. You may feel a sense of gratitude. We don't want to impose this. I'm just inviting you to open to the full spectrum of how our relationship with the foot can be enriched through this type of awareness. And so, yes, certainly emotions, feelings can arise from our listening to our various body parts. And then we can slide our awareness up now into the ankles. So including the ankles, right and left. Just noticing just with your inner sense, you can feel the angle of your ankle. There may be a difference between the right and the left. There may be an overall sense of tightness or looseness. Some of us might even get a sense of the inner characteristics of this particular joint. Images may arise. And then let's include now the whole lower leg, right and left, in our awareness. So including the two shin bones, the muscles of the calf, and also the front of the shin. And just inhabiting that area for a little bit. You may get an overall sense of the muscles feeling relaxed or tense. They may be responding to the light of your awareness. And let's now include the knees. And if you don't feel anything, that's okay. There can be a numbness or there can be just like blank space. But nevertheless, just see if you can allow your awareness to park there for a little bit. You're not thinking about the knees, you're actually taking up residence in the knees with your awareness. Maybe at some point you've had an injury in the knee, and you can get a little bit of a sense of that, even though the knees aren't really moving or flexing right now. You may get a sense of a difference between the right and the left, a sense of maybe greater tightness or relaxation, one or the other. And so we're flooding the knees with our awareness, which is the same as flooding the knees with life force, with healing, and also with intimacy, so that we can hear how it is that they communicate with us, how it is that they let their needs be known. As every part of our body wants to serve our soul. And maybe we haven't had a great relationship with certain parts of our body, and so doing this might feel a little bit challenging. But nevertheless, see if you can just enter into the territory of these body parts with openness. And then bring your awareness into the thigh bones and the flesh all around the thigh bones. Sometimes you may notice when you bring your awareness to a certain body part that tension builds up, or you notice tension in other parts of the body. So this is just showing you that everything is connected. And so you allow whatever arises in the rest of the body to do so. The breath might change. And you continue with just kind of settling your awareness there in the thighs. And if feelings or emotions arise, allow them the freedom and the space to simply be themselves, which will entail some movement, some sensation, some pleasant, some unpleasant, and it's all okay. If tension builds up, let it. Just cooperate with whatever shows up. And then bring awareness to where the thigh bones meet the pelvis. So there's a sense of a joint there. There's a sense of a meeting with the bowl of the pelvis. And you may also begin to notice the area of the sits bones, which is very close to where the thigh bones meet the pelvis, and even the tailbone. So just let your awareness come into that area, to that place where thighs meet pelvis and pelvis meets chair. And again, you may also get a sense of the fleshy parts there, the buttocks. The openings that we eliminate through. So just letting awareness take up residence in this part of the body and opening to everything, all the details that may arise. Memories, sensations, feelings, energies, evidence of energy moving. You're simply an observer here. Of the worlds that exist within your flesh. And you're opening the lines of communication so that your flesh can tell you what it needs in order to support you. And even though we haven't really spent any time on the upper part of the body, you may notice an increase in energy flow there as well, since it is all connected. And as the bottom part of the body really gets plugged in, it can increase the flow of life force to the whole of the body. And so notice if that's your experience. And so we'll spend the remaining time today just allowing our awareness to remain in the lower part of the body, and to simply rest as presence as we do that. Perhaps noticing how your state has changed since we first came together, that we didn't try to manipulate the mind or manipulate our circumstances, and yet perhaps the anchoring of the lower part of the body has changed our perspective, our experience of ourselves.